What's up everybody, Mid-Atlantic Weather here, and today I'm back with another video. Today we'll be talking about the possible tropical storm Ophelia and what it can bring to the southeast and the Mid-Atlantic. If you guys haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, that makes my day. And if you guys like this video, please hit the like button. Other than that, let's get into it. Okay, so taking a look at the watches and warnings, you see along the Mid-Atlantic and the southeast coast, there are tropical storm warnings up from North Carolina, Virginia, and into southeastern Maryland. You also have coastal flood warnings in the southern parts of Delaware and the very eastern parts of New Jersey, and you have flood warnings in Virginia and western North Carolina. Now let's take a look at the NAM model. The NAM model is in range, and the NAM model is a short range model, so it's typically a little better to look at than the GFS model. The GFS model is more for like farther out storms, but the NAM model is really good for narrowing an exact like forecast when a storm is close, and this one is in range. So you see the NAM model. The storm right now is sitting off the coast of the Carolinas, South Carolinas, and right now it's 50-mile-per-hour winds, and it needs to be 60-mile-per-hour winds to become a tropical storm. So it is most likely going to do that by today, sometime around today. But you keep this moving, and you see it. It does look like it has its act together, and it brings a ton of rain to the Carolinas, and then it moves all through and makes landfall in North Carolina, and it looks like a pretty powerful storm. And then you get that top band of rain moving all the way through Virginia, Delaware, all the way up into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then you have right there, and where that low is, it says 984. That's where the worst of the winds are going to be in North Carolina. The winds will be bad, or there'll be strong wind gusts in like Maryland and Delaware, but it won't be as strong as when it first makes landfall because obviously it'll weaken over land because that's what tropical storms and hurricanes do. So keep it going, makes landfall in North Carolina, then it kind of curves itself around, and then by the time it makes itself into Virginia, it kind of dissipates and then it's gone. This is 60 hours from now, so you're looking around Sunday afternoon. Um, so it's amazing to bring a wind and a lot of rain. So let's take a look at the rainfall totals that can be expected. Taking a look at the NAM model for the amount of rain that you can expect, you see on the bottom there is a chart for what each color means, but you see the heaviest of the rain is going to be in North Carolina where the storm makes landfall, and along the coast up to 4 to 5 inches of rain, which will definitely cause flooding, especially with high tide. You could see a lot of storm surge, up to like 6 feet of storm surge, and it also brings rain to South Carolina up to 2 inches, 1.5 inches, and then you move into Virginia, and it's bringing around 2 to 3 inches of rain, which is also a lot. It can cause flooding. And then you have a little spot in the very southwestern part of Delaware, and that is a little spot 4 inches. And you have another spot on the eastern coast of New Jersey, which is another 4 inches. But other than that, in Delaware and New Jersey, you can expect 2 to 3.5 inches. Could get up to 4. There will be some spots in Delaware and New Jersey and Maryland where you do get up to 5 inches, but it's very hard to pinpoint where exactly that will be. Um, Now let's take a look at the possible tornado threat. So this is a chart of the threat for severe weather, and you see you have that main area in the middle of the U.S., but then focusing on the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast, it's a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. So there will be thunderstorms in this tropical cyclone that makes landfall. You will hear thunder, and you'll most likely see lightning. But also, let's take a look at the possible tornado threat, because there is a possible tornado threat that comes with this tropical storm. So you see, it's actually 2% in inland areas of Virginia and North Carolina and the very southern tip of Maryland, and then you have a 5%, which is actually pretty high, of tornadoes in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. I would not be surprised if we got some tornadoes coming from the storm. You won't see a ton, but in this around the backside of the cone as it makes landfall, that's typically where you get a lot of the tornadoes. So I would not be surprised. Keep a lookout for your weather apps for tornado warnings, and just be aware that there is a possible threat if you live in any of these areas. There's no threat for hail, and taking a look at the wind threat, because obviously comes with the tropical storm is wind, but this is a 5% chance along Virginia, North Carolina, southern parts of Delaware, and Maryland. It's a 2 out of 5 risk for winds 55 miles per hour or higher. Um, 2 out of 5 is decently high. Obviously, it's not as high as it can go, but you'll most definitely see 50-mile-per-hour winds in this storm, and wind gusts up to 60 all the way through southern parts of Delaware. You could get wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour if you live in Virginia and North Carolina. Other than that, guys, I don't have anything else for you. If you live in these regions, please stay safe and weather aware. See you guys in the next one.